Alex, thanks for having us for the gameplay here.
No, of course.
We're very excited to see you back after last year when we met.
Yeah, it's been a year.
Yeah, I bet. So tell us what's changed in the game in the last year.
So yeah, we went back to the drawing board on the background. We wanted it to look more consistent with the comic art, and so we had our art director, Rachel Bennett, who's the main comic artist for the books, actually go in and redo all the background art, bring in new character portraits, things like that. So it really helped plus up the art on the game, which a lot of people here on the show floor have already been receptive to. So it's been wonderful.
Yeah, no, just in the time that I was sitting here playing, at least 3 or 4 people came up and were like, "Oh man, the art's great," which is what drew me in last year.
That's what you want.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So for those of viewers that didn't see our last podcast episode for last year, tell them kind of what's the story of War of Western Deep.
The game itself is an all-ages adventure game, hand animated in the classic fashion, 24 frames per second character animation, all done by hand. We wanted to really capture that look of the craft, the old school kind of craft of animation, and bring that to games in a compelling way. The game itself is a story about a royal courier, a messenger from a peaceful fantasy kingdom who goes into enemy territory with a very important secret letter from her king that she needs to deliver on the eve of war. She makes it across the drawbridge. It is destroyed. She's trapped in enemy territory, and war is declared, and she suddenly finds herself an enemy of the state, needs to build alliances with unlikely factions and find a way to defend her home from this surprise attack that is going to manifest shortly.
And this is all from a web novel, correct?
Yeah, so Beyond the Western Deep webcomic has been going strong since 2012. It's been an absolutely fantastic experience writing for that, and Rachel, of course, is the artist on that as well. Being able to tell a different story from the comic, the game and the comic run in sort of parallel paths. You don't need to have read the comic to know what's going on in the game, but you do see similar sort of situations unfolding. I think readers of the comic will really enjoy seeing the different perspectives in the game. And people who play the game who want a little bit more of the lore will be able to go to the comics and check that out.
So it's 2 separate stories in the same universe, basically?
Exactly,
okay, great,
yeah.
Cool. I guess the last question I have for you is, when can we expect to get our hands on it? On a demo or actual release?
A lot of players will be able to check it out on Steam. We're targeting Next Fest, so we'll have a demo available for that. It's going to be a slightly embiggened version of the show floor demo that we've got here. The game itself, we're targeting mid to late 2027. Hand animation is really hard to get out, so we're keeping that conservative, but we're plugging away at it, and there really isn't any time when we're not working on the game, so we're keeping our fingers crossed.
Well, it looks great. I really enjoyed the gameplay. The UI is very intuitive, very simple, basic concepts. Like, it feels very 90s, not just in animation, but in gameplay. It feels very like, Monkey Island.
Monkey Island.
Yeah. It feels really good.
Like you hit the nail on the head. Like, we wanted to take the things that we liked about those old school adventure games, but find ways to adapt them. For example, we're targeting controller first.
Right.
We want to be able to hit consoles and not have to adapt the control scheme. So we're figuring out how can you have things like discoverability with hotspots and, not have pixel hunting and things like that. So it's not really about finding secret little pixel-sized dots on the screen. It's about retaining information. It's about assembling clues. It's about being observant. It's about remembering basic things. Like, there's a blacksmith in town. Maybe they can fix this thing, as opposed to needing to mend it yourself using duct tape and baling wire. We're looking for that kind of vibe. And also, I'm a huge Quest for Glory fan. So having a little bit of combat, a little bit of role playing, a little bit of stat boosting over the course of the game, that's stuff that we're really excited about implementing as well. Makes it feel a little bit more like your character is growing along with you. So we're targeting all of that stuff. We're really excited.
Definitely an important thing for the hero's journey. Well, thank you for taking your time and letting me play the game.
Yeah, of course, Ross. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Have a great show.
Thank you.